Off-grid news welcomes you to the news that's not fit to print. I'm Rob. A new scientific study shows that life gets better when you subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends. Fox News reports that Americans are losing trust in the government. No, say it's not so. That's fake news. America lost trust a long time ago. Now we're building businesses and roads and homes. Pretty soon, we'll call lost trust home. Senator Rand Paul urges truckers to clog up city streets in the U.S. I'm all for it, said Paul, a vocal critic of mandates. Department of Homeland Security instantly taped his mouth shut, tied him to a chair. Paul is turning into Trump with calls for insurrection, the DHS said. Missouri man sentenced to 10 years in federal prison without parole for meth trafficking. Had it been crack, the charges would have been dropped immediately as a result of the new crack pipe distribution program implemented by the Biden administration. Fox News' Tucker Carlson dedicated a segment of his show to what he believes are unanswered questions about a reported presence of Kamala Harris at the Democrat National Convention Committee headquarters on January 6, 2021. The NSA immediately began an investigation of Tucker Carlson's whereabouts on January 6. Nancy Pelosi said, video evidence shows him at his studio recording his show, but video appears to be altered. Walmart announces that it will no longer be enforcing mask mandates on employees, in keeping with the new government policies, science says. Is that anything like Simon says? And also, that's funny because Biden removed the mask mandates way back in last July, after the Afghanistan catastrophe. You remember that? Hold on just a minute. Breaking news, it appears that Newsweek completely hates Trump and can't stop talking about him. 2 senators have discovered the CIA has been conducting mass surveillance on the U.S. with minimum oversight. The Central Intelligence Agency has been carrying out mass surveillance programs on American soil, according to the documents, declassified at the request of the 2 U.S. senators. Didn't we already know this from 2013 when Edward Snowden announced it, yet he's not allowed back in the country? What's going on with that? U.S. has a potential new treatment for the virus. It's called Democrats Are Losing at the Polls. A new bill would give the U.S. Postal Service a major overhaul. Moves through the Senate. Bipartisan legislation that boosts the U.S. Postal Service and saves nearly $50 billion in the next decade, and is potentially set to a vote by the end of next week. I got an idea with the post office. Privatize it. It will make them compete. If UPS can do it, anybody can do it, I'm sure. And if not, then we'll just rely on UPS. Duh. I mean, who understands this? We have a company that is paid by tax money each year so we can buy a stamp. CNN's Brian Stelter says, wanted to thank China. China has been a real contributor to the United States when the government mailed us masks. And they were made in China. And tests that were made in China to protect us from the virus that was made in China while we watched the Olympics in China. Thank you, China. A new report from special counsel John Durham came out claiming Hillary Clinton, campaign lawyers paid a tech company to infiltrate servers to fabricate a connection between Trump and Russia. There were spying operations going on both with the Trump campaign and his tower headquarters and when President Trump was president. They continue to spy on him as an executive office of the president. That just proves there's a lot of reasons to impeach Trump. I'm very disappointed that Clinton didn't do more. Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, circle back to that question. She also said, a lot of voters don't understand how we came to have a shortage of oil in this country. The answer is quite simple. No one ever bothered to check the oil. Now that the Biden administration's in office, we just don't know where we're getting low on oil. The reason for that is purely geographical. Our oil is located in Alaska, California, coastal Florida, coastal Louisiana, North Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and Texas. But our dipstick is located in the White House. After court order, police started escorting the Canadian truckers off bridges connecting the United States and Canada. According to reports, the protesters are peacefully clearing the bridge. No, wait. It's a violent chaos with snipers on top of roofs. No, wait. Protesters are peacefully clearing the bridge. Wait, what? No, it's a violent chaos with snipers on the roof. How many roofs are there near that bridge? I'm confused. Usually a bridge has water around it. You know, bridge? The Guardian reports the U.S. Supreme Court is letting racism and discrimination run wild in the election system. Wait one gosh darn minute. Isn't Clarence Thomas an African American? Couldn't he just simply say, no, it's racist, and then change the whole judgment? CBS News reports that Russia warships chased off U.S. submarines near Pacific Islands, Moscow says. Hold on. Wait 1 minute right there. This host, Off-Grid News, Rob, was on a submarine in the Navy 4 years. And I'm calling BS. That didn't happen. The Russia warships would have never found our submarine. It's just that simple. We were invisible. In another attempt to sell the war to the American people, the White House says Russia could hit the U.S. chip industry, which will further stall supply chains in the U.S. Yep, we better go to a war. How else are we going to eat chips? Wait, is that the chips they're talking about? Oh, you mean computer chips. Well, in that case, we're just trying to fund Hunter Biden's drug addiction. Biden tells Putin that Ukraine's invasion would cause irreparable damage. Putin responded by saying, well, then stop trying to start a war. Russia government requires that Nabisco puts Putin's face on Ritz crackers. The new name will be called Button on the Ritz. Pfizer analysis shows that vaccine offers only 52.9% protection, which is 100% better than anything else. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford took time from his busy schedule of snowboarding to call a state of emergency in an attempt to remove a Freedom Convoy blockade. He said, this nonsense needs to stop immediately so I can get back to my playtime, eh? A justice complex in Nevada County has been given a new name this week after locals voted in favor of renaming the building after former President Donald Trump. Immediately after the renaming, calls for the removal of the entire premise because Trump was a white slave owner. Biden's national security advisor says Russia could invade Ukraine any day now, as he stated every day in the past 3 weeks. If I told my wife I was going to fix the faucet any day now, well, that didn't go well. A new Pentagon report states Biden's administration is responsible for chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. We had to spend tax dollars on a report to say that what I saw when I was watching TV, I could have told them that months ago. 4 of President Trump's aides told the Washington Post that he ripped up reports, and the report ripping became recognizable just by the sound of ripping horizontal and vertically. It's nothing like when Pelosi ripped up the State of the Union address in front of millions of people on nationwide TV. 130,000 troops now staged outside Ukraine, which is odd, considering Ukraine is right next to Russia. It would be like Texas having a National Guard in Texas, which is near the Mexico border. Is Texas getting ready to attack Mexico? I don't know. FBI is hunting a man accused of 11 bank robberies across multiple states, offering a $10,000 reward. FBI spokesperson said the reason we can't seem to find the man is because we're really busy trying to identify conservative men going to work every day at 7 a.m. White House National Security Advisor describes what Russia's attack on Ukraine might look like. It will start with United States Army crossing into Ukraine's border and picking a fight with Russia. Then Russia will respond with missiles and tanks and the army, and then we will have an all-out war. And Russia is just too evil to stop. The CDC's new guidelines for prescribing addictive painkillers and opioids removes a previous recommended ceiling for opioid dosage. Now the guidelines encourage doctors to use their best judgment when prescribing opioids. The CDC has a new guideline for prescribing medications for the virus. The guidelines indicate that doctors may not use their own judgment in prescribing medication for the virus. Why does it sound like both of these guidelines allow for Pfizer to get really rich? Biden's administration's new policy for 2022 include distribution of highly addictive opioids and crack pipes. But you must wear your mask and be vaccinated so you don't get sick. I do believe that every country, republic, and empire fell when the leaders started drugging the population. Is that going to happen? No, that can't happen here. 2022 midterm election strategy for Democrats is to give out free drugs. They're bound to vote for us then. Biden promises Ukraine swift and decisive action if Russia invades as soon as he finishes nap. White House confirms a Biden-Putin call on Saturday. Biden said, we will defend what is that place where Hunter made all that money? Ukraine, that's what it was, at all costs, because that's where my son, oh man, what was his name? Hunter Biden makes all his money. And Biden said, who is this? Is this China? Russia. Oh yeah, what were we talking? Ukraine. Well, anyway, never mind, I don't remember. Once again, FEMA is informing families they can have up to $9,000 in funeral cost reimbursement for the virus death, but warns you must pay your death tax first. A grifter who claims she can time travel is running for Secretary of State of Ohio. She informed her constituents that she already knows she will lose. HIV is now 50% higher in heterosexuals now that Pfizer has a new vaccine for it, and Dr. Fauci is feeling a little bored. NBC pulls the halftime show from the Super Bowl and apologizes for airing it when it was discovered that Dr. Dre and Snoop used the N-word in multiple past recordings. NBC said these men clearly are racist, having white privilege and are white supremacists. Wait, what? Carolyn, we made a mistake on the script again. The Canadian Freedom truckers are being arrested and charged with mischief for sitting in their trucks and honking their horns. The same charge that the Dennis the Menace and other kids received. The charge holds a prison sentence of 10 years. If they would have just burned down buildings, they'd receive no prison sentence. I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, this makes complete sense. You do what everybody else is doing. CNN reports that Joe Rogan's use of the N-word is another January 6th moment. Wait, what? Does CNN actually think that we're buying all this nonsense? How can smart people be so stupid? CNN reports, White House believes Russia. President Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine and has communicated those plans to his military and defense officials, have told the U.S. Two additional administration officials say they expect the invasion to begin within next week. Biden is expecting a detailed war plan from Putin within hours. When asked why Putin would give his plan to the U.S., Biden said, well, the Putin thing, the guy, the Putin, Putin is trying to help me what is it he's trying to do here? He's trying to help me sell it to the American people, not Ukraine, the American people. After 2 years of the White House saying the science about the virus's vaccines, mask mandates was irrefutable, indisputable, undeniable, unquestionable, incontrovertible, they're now saying the science shows that the poll numbers are low and are easy mandates requirements. Oh, good. Can you tell that guy across the street that I love to have his truck? Because that's science. ICE agents report they are overwhelmed with thousands of desperate and undocumented refugees flooding the U.S. border from Canada. Biden told ICE not to let them into the U.S. because they're white. CNN reports, what created a new, more aggressive Russia President Putin? Wait, say no more. I know the answer to this one. Biden. Babylon Bee reports Biden administration to begin a grueling month-long process of abandoning Americans in Ukraine. The State Department immediately began sending out conflicting memos as how to evacuate, crashing their system to process visas, and then declared the only extraction point is to be right behind a bunch of Russian tanks. And the military brass declined to help secure the evacuation as they're busy making popcorn and watching cool bombers fly over Taiwan. So that's all your news that's not fit to print. Please share this with your friends on other social media sites. Click subscribe to get future updates. Thanks for watching.